Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Major HIT-40 MB3. This is a drill guide for lock mounting brackets is what it is. It's a machined piece of aluminum that is very elegantly created such that you will insert this into the preparation that you've done in the edge of the door, and it will allow you to very smartly mark the location where you're going to drill the hole for the lock mounting tabs, which we'll take a look at in a moment. This is a large, heavy piece of aluminum, weighs just about 1 pound. Its overall height, or length I should say, 9.5 inch. Its overall width, about 1 5/8 inches. The thickness of the aluminum itself, about 1/2 inch. Those are going to be steel bushings that are in there. They may be carbide. I'd imagine that they are, knowing Major. The center to center of those holes looks like it's about 8 3/8 or so. The width on the preparation of the back, just shy on 1 inch, maybe 31/32. And then its height is going to be about 6 13/16. Now, this will include installation instructions, are here. Let's, and it's just a simple layout guide, layout template is really what it is. There's not too much really about this. Let's switch to the screen view where we will be able to take a look at information that will be more appropriate and put it into context of how it's used. Let's do it. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. Okay, here is the item that we are looking at. Let's take a look at some images that we have posted. That's the packaging, by the way. That's the fixture. By the way, and we'll go over it, but these are the mounting brackets that they're compatible with. You know, like everything in locksmithing, generally, you know, there's one tool that does a job perfectly, and then there are many other tools that will do that same job. But if you really want to do it the least problematic or the most elegant way, it seems like you end up acquiring a tool for that specific job. But if you add mounting tabs to aluminum storefront, or whatever you're adding it to, a hollow metal door, why not? If you're installing that, which would be atypical, but it has been done, and Adams Wright does have lock bodies intended for hollow metal doors. That is our item. Showing you the half of the unit, the other half of the unit with that insert, the back side of the unit. And then that bushing, that's there. Okay, now there is, below this video, some extended description information that we can take a look at. Drill guide for major manufacturing mounting brackets, which we'll take a look at in a moment. Actually, I'm going to predict that it's just radius, flat, and beveled edge mounting tabs. The LMB03 is a universal mounting bracket. Okay. So that's going to work in a variety of applications. The 033, that's going to be our radiused edge for radiused applications. So it's for that mounting tab as well. The LMB-034 is going to be for beveled applications when you have a beveled edge door. I'm pretty sure that radiused is going to work for a flat. The LMB-033 will work for flat applications as well. Yeah, the other end is flat. That may be what they had in mind there. Yeah, I'm sure this will work on flat or radiused door styles. Okay. Now, back to our extended description. Easy way to locate and drill mounting holes for our steel mounting brackets used on aluminum doors. We'll take a look at that. And what they're telling us here is that you hold the fixture into the existing faceplate cutout. That would be 1 by 6 7/8. and the drill guide will be indexed. Drill one hole above and one hole below the lock using the hardened drill guides. Countersink the holes and install the mounting brackets with the supplied screws. That means when you buy these mounting brackets, they do come with mounting screws, that I can attest to. Will work on both narrow and deep style doors. A perfect way to securely mount locks when the factory screws in the back of the frame have been stripped out of the door, the door style, or when it's too deep for bridges. So a bridge is a... There are three methods of mounting by Adams Wright. There are tubes, bridges, and tabs. Bridge, mounting bridge. You can search the mounting bridge. From the mounting bridge in our site, you can actually get to the mounting methods overview from Adams Wright and view all the different three types of mounting that I had mentioned earlier. So that might be of interest to you. A perfect way to secure mount locks when the factory screws. Yeah, we went through that. Works with both radiused and beveled doors. Sure, why not? Sold as each. When you buy one, we'll ship you one. Installation instructions are here, and let's dive into those just for a moment. And that loads, and it tells us that it's for those three part numbers of brackets, which we've gone over. Most instructions from the manufacturer implore you to use eye protection, ear protection. I would add lung protection as well. I'd be wearing a mask in all instances. Being in a shop setting for years and years contributes to, I think, an unhealthy set of lungs. So I'd cover up the mouth anytime I'm creating any particulate, as microscopic as it would be. I do want to mention that Major does a great job on their installation instructions. There's 6 pages to a very simple item that you probably already understand, but they use very large fonts, and they use very large images. And while it's a lot of paperwork, you appreciate that when you're trying to read it. Okay, so page 1 is the cover, 2 is use safety equipment, and here we go. That's what we're going to look for. You've prepped the edge, and of course Major makes all the tools for making that edge preparation as well. Standard cutout for the swing bolt, hook bolt, or a dead latch. 2 hardened drill bushings installed in the drill guide, located at the top and bottom. Use a number 7 drill bit when drilling. Now, a number 7 is an index drill bit, a set of drill bits from someone like Irwin, and we'll pull that up so we can take a look at it. We've got fractional. Well, I'm not seeing it, but we'll pull up a fractional set. We'll get to the product brochure. And they will have these index sizes, or wire sizes they call it. So a number 7 is equal to 0.201 inch. Well, that's not any neat and tidy fraction that we know, but what you'll notice is the difference between an 8 and a 7. And by the way, the smaller the number gets, the smaller hole diameter that you're drilling is extremely fine. 20,000ths of an inch between an 8 and a 7. A number 7, that's 0.201. If you used a 3/16, which would be 0.8175, or a 3/16 or a 5/32nd, or pardon me, a 7/32nd, you're going to be way off on what size you're supposed to be drilling. It's very, very small. You'd measure it on a caliper, but it's the ideal size for what's being requested. Okay, so you basically insert the drill fixture into the cutout that you've made, hold it there, and drill your 2 holes with the number 7 bit. If there's excessive play at the top or bottom, split the difference and then drill the first hole. Probably be a little bit of wiggle there. Drill a second hole, and they want you to apparently insert your drill bit to hold it there, which would make sense because you want the center to center to be absolutely correct, is the bottom line. Okay. And there's your opening with your 2 number 7 holes drilled, and that's almost all the way there. They want you to then countersink it because, as you know, you'll be making a countersunk hole to hold these mounting tabs in. Now your 2 holes are countersunk. They don't tell us what size countersink to use. I'd have to study the best countersink for a 1032, a number 10 screw, flathead screw. And then, of course, now it's time to mount your mounting tabs. Okay. Attach them, top and bottom. There's your tab there. There's your tab going in there. Your lock body will go in. Cylinders with your collars or trim rings or cylinder guards. Next, tighten them down, and then your faceplate. That's all there is to it. Major does a great job with the installation instructions. Now, there's also the product brochure, which is very handy because it will allow you to review this item and, of course, any related products that are immediately associated with it. There is one for this, a King Cobra lock for narrow style doors. I know that lock is most definitely discontinued. We actually happen to have a couple of those, just coincidentally new old stock, but they've been gone for a long time. Now, in terms of sales catalog support data, there's a link below this video here to the manufacturer's page, and from there we can pull up not only all of the major products that we sell by means of this horizontal navigation as seen here, but also a link to the manufacturer's website as well as a link to the full product catalog here. Let's just take a quick dive into the catalog. This is just over 100 pages, and what you're going to find in here is a very broad offering of tools that will aid the installer, the handyman, the locksmith most certainly. Security hardware as well. And then probably half of the book, if not more, is their HIT series, hardware installation tool or template. That's going to be further back in the catalog. And they have material in here for helping you prep practically every lock type that you can think of. Okay? Specialty installation tools, their HIT series. The reason I go to this page in the catalog, and it's at page the 50th page, is because there's immediately a cross-reference chart, meaning if you know that you're going to do an Adams Wright lock or latch, use the HIT 45 AR series. So they're telling you what template that you'll use for that preparation. Okay. The ever popular alarm lock T2, well, that's going to be a HIT 102. Let's take that part number, let's copy it and do a find function for HIT 102. There it is. If you've got that T2 trilogy lock, electronic combination lock, this will give you the ability to drill those holes pretty quickly. If you're familiar with the lock, you already know what holes you'll need to drill, and won't even need to refer to the template that comes with the hardware itself. The point is that cross-reference will get you pointed in the right direction. Now, I find when it comes to major hardware installation tools that the catalog is quite comprehensive, but it is a situation where you might need some guidance. I know that I have contacted the factory and asked for guidance when it comes to what is the best approach to prep a certain lock, And with Major, there's more than one approach sometimes, but one will generally be better depending on everything that you're doing. I had a client who was putting Schlage L9000 series locks on aluminum storefront. Wide style doors, so 6-inch styles. They would fit, no problem. And we sold him everything that he needed to do not only the function holes, but also the 8x1.25 prep in the edge of the door as well. And all of that came out of a single platform of a series of hardware installation tools that Major offers. So I would certainly recommend a deep dive into this catalog because of how comprehensive it is. Okay, let's wrap up this video on camera. You know, before we do that, I want to point out just one thing that I like from this catalog, and it is right here. Major sells a fixture for drilling and tapping, mortise cylinders when what you want to do is extend the length of them. They make these brass extensions that you will screw into the back of a mortise cylinder so that it ends up looking like that. I've done this successfully a number of times. The reason I point it out is it's pretty neat if you have a need for a whatever keyway. You know, I did a job where the client had Schlage FG key blanks on the job, and he needed 2 3/4 length polished chrome cylinders yesterday. Well, I can get Kaba Ilko composite plugs, which I'm not a fan of, but it was the only option, which the client was made aware of, and the downsides of using a composite broaching and a cylinder plug. What we had was, I don't recall, they may not have been 2 3/4, they may have been 2 1/4, but used, you know, what we had. I had 1 1/4 extensions, probably 1 1/4 cylinders, drilled and tapped the mortise cylinders, bolted on the extensions. Voila, we've got polished chrome, 2.5-inch length mortise cylinders that will take a Schlage FG keyway pretty quickly. I do own this fixture as well. I've used it every time that I've done it. And the reason is I've learned that where you drill the hole in the back of the cylinder, because of the extremely fine tolerances when manufacturing these parts at Major, that hole's got to be spot on. It won't tolerate it being off at all because what they call the drive cam and the mortise cylinder drive cam and the extension that needs to run through here that's connected to your the drive cam connects to the back of your cylinder. These plug extensions then attach to and through the drive cam. So because that cylinder has to rotate on a perfectly straight axis of pivoting, the relationship between the holes that you drill here and in the back of the cylinder has to be spot on. I found that fixture, once I learned the way the fixture likes to be used, it gives me holes that are pretty darn accurate. So I don't try to freehand it. Anyway, let's wrap up this video on camera. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. In conclusion, a nice quality product here from Major. Nice quality product made by a nice quality company. I've called there a number of times. I've asked technical questions of a couple people there, and they are on the spot. They understand their product. They know it from a... They're not full-time locksmiths, I don't believe. They're not out, you know, they're a manufacturer of tools, of locksmithing aids and tools, but they know what the job needs to look like, and they design their tools around that. And when you call there and ask for support, it's just right off the top of their head. So they possess an expert command over the subject matter, and that's very helpful when you're trying to learn it from them. They don't need to struggle for the answer themselves. And to them, for that, I say thank you. If you have any questions on the Major HIT 40 MB3 drill guide or any other Major product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.
Again, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up, please subscribe, and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.